All right, we are back. Wow. 3 month hiatus. You never really know how truly busy you are until you have to sit down and talk for about 10 minutes on the podcast and give your thoughts about things. A lot of things, you talk with friends on through text message, and heat of the moment, and the internet is just so fast paced. If you're not out there doing it like right then and there, you're gonna get pretty far left behind. But this is the Dan Show. This is number 6. How's everyone been? It's Christmas time. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving and Halloween. Let's get right to it. The big news, everyone. It's official. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. John Cena officially retires from WWE in-ring competitor this past Saturday night at Saturday night's main event. I thought it was kind of a weird showcase to have it in. But yeah, taps out to Gunther. Lots to unfold here. Lots to unfold here. I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I don't want to speed through things because when you speed through things, you kind of forget where you're trying to go through. So my thought process of this whole thing was, I did a video back in August saying I just didn't see it happening. I didn't think Saturday Night Main Event was going to be a a ideal spot for someone as high up on the WWE just wrestling. Like he's on Mount Rushmore as far as a draw, just recognizable, fame. Just if you're not a wrestling fan, you know who John Cena is, and you know what type of fame or what kind of acknowledgement that has to, what you have to go through to get to achieve that, to become from the wrestling world, to be able to cross over the way that John Cena has. And only a handful of people have been able to really, really, really do it to the level that John Cena has. Yeah, I thought it was weird. I thought for sure we're going to get some kind of interruption. I thought it was going to lead up to a match at WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. I thought maybe it was going to be The Rock. Rock was really hush hush on this whole thing. Yeah, the week leading in, then we started hearing a lot more stuff about, okay, the Travis Scott thing fell through, and everyone saw the thing that WWE posted, what if The Rock shows up? For a moment there, I thought, okay, yeah, this is them letting us know that that might happen. Do not, kind of preparing the fans, like, hey, this might not be his last match. But once a lot of things started coming out, like a whole bunch of stuff started coming out, it felt like it was being too intentional, to where, okay, they're really trying to hammer down that, is he or is he not retiring type thing, which I felt was a little bit weird. So I did feel that okay, they're really trying really hard now. So yeah, I wish I had text messages, but I'm recording on my phone. So leading into Saturday Night Main Event, I was texting. I have 2 friends I talk to a lot about wrestling. My friend Alfredo and my friend Henley. I said there's only two outcomes that come out from this. I said scenario 1, which I believe was going to happen but didn't happen. Someone comes out, possibly The Rock, says you're not done. I still you have one more day. Da, 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 da. And I said scenario 2. John Cena is going to tap out. I didn't say that per se. I said, it depends on how the match ends. If the match ends with John Cena winning, that leaves for me at that time, I would felt like it would be 50-50 that John Cena would have one more match. But I said if this is done for sure, if John Cena's coming out saying this is it, I told him I was like he'll tap out, and sure enough, that's what we got. John Cena tapped out. Everyone is, well, not everybody. A lot of people are mad about it. Um, for me, I feel it's a good thing. I feel that, yeah, be mad, be upset, be everything that you feel that you should be feeling watching that match. That's pretty much the heart and soul of what professional wrestling is supposed to be. It's supposed to invoke emotion. It's supposed to, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's invoking emotion. And now you're going to carry that on to the next show because, the famous pipe bomb promo from CM Punk, the wheel will keep on going. The wheel will keep on going no matter what. And yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And I wanted to wait till after Monday Night Raw to see what was going to happen with Gunther. And pretty much, he got booed out the building. I felt it was kind of weird that they asked him to leave. I guess they just didn't have anything for him at this moment. Triple H really, he really hammers down on this slow build. I guess they're just trying to see where they're going to go. And I guess with the holidays coming up, it's kind of hard to really establish anything right now at this moment. But yeah, that's, to me, that was a picture perfect ending. That's how it should have ended. John Cena, he's pretty much told everybody that this is it. Like, this match will be the end. And I've told everybody this, that he put a period at the end of his career, didn't leave a ... question mark. As everyone who watches wrestling knows, never say never. And John Cena has been on this tour saying that he's going to be the first person that will retire and stay retired and never come back again. And I know from what I've seen from John Cena, how he handles himself. He's very much an intentional guy. He does what he says and he says what he means, and that's just how he is. And the tap out, he's not going to take that away from Gunther. He's not going to tarnish. I wouldn't say tarnish because it's all work, but in the story of things, that was John Cena giving back to the business. And anybody who knows wrestling knows the business gives you everything, and you have to give back at some point in your career, all the time. I mean, barring career-ending injury, far from extreme circumstances. If you're able to get back, you get back. That's just how it is. That's tradition. That's what wrestling is. That's what WWE as tries to do. So yeah, I thought the picture perfect ending. He tapped, smiling, just and I hope that Stone Cold, he's able to break these matches down a lot better than a lot of us, because he lives it, he breathed it, he was in it. And yeah, it was, he went out, he gave it all, and everyone's like, you yada yada yada, he never give up, da 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 da. He didn't give up. He gave it his all. And that's basically what the story is, and that's basically what it told. He gave him an AA. He gave him another one from the top rope. He gave him one more, and he fought, and he was up, and teased arm. He gave it his all, and he didn't give up. He gave it everything he had, and that's the story. And that's what people are missing, is that he didn't give up. He gave it his all, and that's all you can do. And as a I like to call him Super Cena, the Super Cena career that he's been on since he's been on this, babyface run. He's never tapped out. He's always gone by that mantra that he never gives up. And, you know, eventually you give out. And that's the story. And that's, people get on, make the fans happy, give the fans what they want. It's not about giving the fans what they want. It's about giving the fans a story. It's about giving the fans something to talk about. Here we are. Like, what would have happened if it was the Super Cena match? He did everything, STFU, did the everything, and then bowed out. Where would we be at Monday at Raw? Nowhere. We would be nowhere. We would be like, thank you, Cena, and that's about it. And that's kind of what Cena was, hinting at when he's like, by Royal Rumble, they'll forget about me. They're not going to forget about him. And I tell everybody this, like, hey, okay, we had 10 years of CM Punk. We're not going to forget about John Cena. But I get what he's trying to say. You're going to forget about the retirement. You're going to forget about, yes, you're always going to remember John Cena. Stone Cold still gets the pops, but The Rock still gets the pops. They always still get the pops, but you're not going to talk about it. Whenever Gunther's out there now, we're going to remember, Dan, you may see him tap out in his last match. And that's where we're at, and that's what WWE gave us. That's what Triple H gave us, and that's the fans are not letting this finish yet. I know Cena's story is over, but what Cena gave back to the business isn't over yet. It's with Gunther now, and now Gunther's going to take that Cena gave him, and now he's going to carry it to the next guy. And then they're gonna build, and then once that next guy comes, then they're giving back to him. That's where the story keeps going. That's how you give back, and that's how you create, this wonderful thing that we all like to watch called professional wrestling. If you go into professional wrestling expecting to see a certain outcome, you do not enjoy professional wrestling. I'm sorry. There's no way you can sit here and get mad. You can sit here and say, oh, that doesn't make any sense. The things that don't make sense would be a story that's building and then it doesn't lead really to nowhere. That's where things don't make sense. But if you're saying that Cena tapping out didn't make sense, then you're 100% utterly wrong. And I'm sorry to tell you this. That is 100% the right choice. That's 100% the correct option. There was no other way about it. Everyone knows now, Cena's done. He is completely done. He said it before, he's just done as an in-ring competitor. It just came out, he signed a 5-year deal with WWE, so he's still a part of WWE. But we're just not going to get John Cena in the ring no more. So, in that capacity. So, I'm just on a whim here. I'm just trying to process all the thoughts I've had. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I honestly, I was a John Cena fan at first when he started doing the Thuganomics stuff, and then the Cena when he turned face, it was fun, and then it kind of got the point I was at that time wasn't really the style I was really into, and I felt like he was a bit corny a lot of times, but once you really got to see Cena and saw what he was doing and with all the Make-A-Wish and everything like that, it was very very commendable. He's a great guy, and then we saw a little bit more on the Netflix show. What is it, Unreal? He's sitting there talking to all the kids. He's taking, you would think this guy's busy. Like you would think he'd be like, oh, all right, let's get these. No, he's sitting there talking, engaging, asking questions. He's very and it's hard once I learned a lot more of all that stuff and saw how he was, it was very impossible for me to boo a guy like that. We booed part of, the work about, boo Cena. So when Kurt Angle's like, no, you still chant, you suck. Just for, just for fun. But yeah, I just can't boo Cena. He gave it his all. He came back when he needed to. He put over talent when he needed to. He put over the right talent when he needed to. I don't care what anyone says. He puts over the right talent. I know a lot of people saying that he has a golden shovel. No, he doesn't have a golden shovel. Um, I mean, just look at some of the guys that he refused to put over. Where are they at now? And look at the guys that he did, and where are they at now? And it's Cena things, the Hogan thing. They know what makes good business, and they know where to go and who to work with. And I don't fault them for we spit. So yeah, I just wanted to try to get on here and tell you a little bit of my thoughts here. Um, Trying to think of any other key takeaways. Yeah, I would like to try to do something where I can break down the match. Um, a lot of times, okay, like I briefly trained. I don't know if anyone watches this video or seen my other ones. I briefly trained a little bit, like long time ago. I broke my hand in a match, and I was in and out of wrestling here and there. I had my own promotion, so um, I'm not on the level of WWE or anything. I was never on TV or nothing like that. Um, so yeah, I'm able to like read matches, and like a lot of times I'm like, sorry, chewing on ice here. A lot of times people are like, who you think's gonna win? I'll have my notions, but I'm always like, I need to watch the match. I need to know I need, and then I'm able to sit there and read the match, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. Stuff like that. So I kind of like to think I know what I'm talking about. I don't like to do fantasy booking. I don't like to do stuff like that. I talk about what is at hand. I like to talk about what is done, and and go from there. Yeah. So John Cena officially taps out, breaks the record, Ric Flair's record, which I felt he was going to do. A lot of people thought it was never going to happen. I was like, Ric Flair, even though as legendary as he is, he's not a true WWE guy. So I never felt that record was safe. I always felt that John Cena, if anyone was going to do it, would be John Cena. And I felt like more so under Vince McMahon, I felt like um, it was iffy with Triple H at the head of things, just because how close he is with Ric Flair, and I felt like he probably won't give John Cena that, but um, Triple H, I guess he knows what's good for business, and that's what was good for business. Say what you want about the match at WrestleMania with Cody. I thought the match went exactly how I thought it was going to go. It was not going to be a wrestling match. It was just basically going to be John Cena walking in, breaking the title, breaking the record, and walking out. That's exactly what happened. So, not the greatest wrestling match if you were going to go in there for a wrestling match, but this is WWE, so not every match is going to be that type of wrestling match. Um, it's all over the board. So, my thoughts on the John Cena farewell tour. Iffy. I felt it was if he had 2 years left, I felt like this would have been a lot um, better in terms of we could have had a full year of John Cena being a heel or a bad guy. Um, and then, we could have had something, um, another year of him doing the whole face, because you could tell when he was doing the heel stuff, like he was getting kind of emotional because he knew that that was going to be the last time in some of these cities. So, um, excuse me, sorry. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, it's just, it was poor planning. I think they had an idea. I think nothing was set in stone. I think this is the difference between Vince McMahon and Triple H's type of booking. Like Eric Bischoff said in the NWO documentary, Vince McMahon likes to know what he's doing months in advance. It looks like Triple H is doing the Eric Bischoff, Tony Khan type of booking where he doesn't even know what's going to happen next week. So, yeah, I felt like there was a plan in place. The heel stuff was fun. I felt the Randy Orton match at Backlash was really fun, really great. It was a good match for like that was a I know like both of them, as you know, their careers ran almost side to side, side by side. I think that's something they can both hang their hats on that last match between them, the two of them saying, "Yeah, we did it." The CM Punk match at I think it was Money in the Bank, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really good match. That was a fun match as well. I didn't really get to see the tag team match, but the R Truth, Ron Killens coming back, that made waves, so that was fun. And then John Cena wrestling R Truth, as a heel, that was fun. It just once we started getting to SummerSlam, um, it really started to become okay. When is he turning, back to being face? Because you knew it was going to happen. He wasn't going to retire as a bad guy. So the face turn was a little bit of a letdown as well. But I think it was really cool because he had been coming out with the black, you know, John Cena white letters for a long time, and then at SummerSlam, it was still everyone had the question mark, like, is he going to come out? And it was still the black, and then boom, finally all the lights came on. So that was a cool, fun aspect. And then of course Brock Lesnar coming out, surprising everybody. That was of course, but like I said, this is Triple H living and dying by the shock value of things. WrestlePalooza, let's just forget it ever happened. AJ Styles match was a great match. All the tributes they put in there, of course, him breaking the record, or not breaking the record, finally becoming a Grand Slam champion with the Intercontinental Championship. So I thought that was fun. The match with Dom at Survivor Series was also really good. The tag team match at Madison Square Garden. I mean, it is what it is. It's a fun. John Cena's going out. It's a fun thing. I felt maybe, but it basically comes down to they just didn't have a lot of times on a lot of dates. Um, I think maybe if that was the plan of him tapping out all along, I felt maybe that should have been touched on just a little bit more during the farewell tour. Like people were trying to make him tap out. So you have that slow build to like, oh no, everyone's tried this whole retirement tour and he hasn't done it in 20 years. This is not going to happen. And then bam, boom, it happens. So I think maybe it prepares the fans a little bit. Um, like, oh, well, they had been talking about it. They had been teasing it. But again, going back, this is Triple H's style of booking. When it becomes too predictable, you have to do a swerve. And I 110% disagree with that notion. I like the swerve. I don't mind the swerve. I felt like I think the biggest swerve I felt that this year was really cool was the Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns. I think that was the biggest one. I felt a swerve was coming, but I just didn't know what it was going to be. Um, Everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, he's gonna turn on CM Punk," which I felt like, okay, yeah, but story arc wise, not like in real life. I was like, "There's no way storyline wise, Paul Heyman turns on Roman Reigns," but and then the way they just CM Punk and Roman Reigns milked it at the end, it was really great. I think that was like the best swerve we had this year. So yeah, it's just that's the when I talk about earlier in the video when I was talking about when stuff doesn't make any sense. That's just where the story that John Cena and Gunther told in the match that made 110%. That made sense. That was perfectly. They told the match the story right. Just the long term build up to it because there wasn't a bunch of time and there wasn't a bunch of time, and it just, I just felt like maybe it just could have pressed on a little bit more, maybe with Randy Orton, trying to put him in as submission. CM Punk, he has a submission. Who else has a submission? Brock Lesnar does have a submission. Um, But yeah, I just felt like it was. And the only other thing that does bother me about, I don't mind the Gunther thing. The only thing that does bother me about Gunther is the fact that he lost to Jey Uso at WrestleMania by choke. That's the only thing that does kind of bother me in this situation because I mean I know Jay eliminated John Cena, but he didn't beat John Cena. He just eliminated him at Royal Rumble. So that's probably the only thing that really bothers me about the Gunther thing. And another thing that kind of makes me a little is the fact that Vince McMahon just was not a fan of Gunther at all, and the fact that uh, whoever does the booking, I don't know. John Cena says he's not creative. He has no hand in the creative of his tour. Triple H says he's in charge of creative. Whoever booked it, whoever I don't know who did, but to have Gunther, who was very like open that he didn't like Gunther, to have that guy tap out John Cena, which everyone knows Vince McMahon and John Cena are tight. They're friends. They still talk. They're still you know part of each other's lives. And to me, that just kind of feels a little weird. And now we're hearing rumblings of that. Gunther might retire Brock Lesnar, which we all know is another Vince McMahon guy. So, and then I didn't really like the call on Michael Cole saying professional wrestling beats sports entertainment tonight. I really feel like I don't know. I don't like to get in the like I said I don't like to get in the fantasy thing and the hearsays and everything like that. I just don't feel like I feel like I understand where Triple H wants, but it just really feels like you're kind of totally shitting on everything that got you to this point in WWE in your career and everything. And I get, the one thing that must always happen is change, and I get change is always supposed to happen, but I don't really believe in shitting on the entire product that it is because Roman Reigns is right now still your top dog, and he's as much a sports entertainment as anybody is right now. The Rock, who everybody wants to come back, he's pretty much sports entertainment more than anybody is. So you still have a lot of guys who are sports entertainment. And again, this could be building something else and yada yada yada. But I just it when it comes to professional wrestling or when it comes to WWE, everything that is said and everything that's done is done with intent. There's a reason why it's being said. There's a reason why it's being done. And that's why I'm like, okay, it could be being said and done to move away from that, or it can be said and done to build towards something else. So that is remained to be seen. We'll see where it goes from here. Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself and be like, what's going on? Da, 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 da. So yeah, that's just my take. Not bad, 28 minutes, about 30 minutes on this. Yeah, anybody drop down what you think if you've actually made it throughout this entire video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, ask me a question, anything. Like I said, I just do these off the whim. I literally have no notes. Everything is literally in my head right now. Um, so yeah, uh, thank you if you actually sat down and watched this entire video. Um, do the whole blah blah blah, smash that like button, follow, bullshit. Uh, yeah, we're gonna try to get back at this. Bring you guys some more content, some more stuff. These are just my takes. Again, no fantasy booking. Again, no fantasy. This is what they should be doing. Just my take and how I feel like things could be structured. Like I said, at the end of the day, what's done is done. I'm not going to sit here and piss about it and be mad and stuff like that. But again, enjoy it. Enjoy professional wrestling. If it evokes, like I said at the beginning of this video, anger, happiness, whatever, take it. Go to the next person, boo them. Boo the shit out of them. Boo them out of the building. Next guy comes and challenges them. Cheer them. That is what you're supposed to do. That is what wrestling is all about. That is what, brings us all together. If all you care about is seeing a bunch of guys do a bunch of flips, go watch a fucking karate show or some shit. I don't know. Yeah. like I said, enjoy professional wrestling. I've watched it a very, very long time, so let's just talk about it. No need to be negative either. I've said it in other videos. There's no need to be negative. If you think I'm wrong, then you think I'm wrong. I mean, everyone has an opinion, and even the wrong ones. But we all can't be right. Just me. All right. Sorry, guys. That is it for my show. Till next time, Dan the Man out.